Imagine if a single chip can solve all your brain related problems. What if I say you, if this company succeeds, there will be no blind persons inside this world anymore. Recently, I visited the school of blind and only one thought caught my mind during this visit, that can development in AI solve the problem of these blind childrens. When I came home, I searched on internet, is there any research that can solve this blind children's problem, and I came across this huge research and huge effort by the company called Neuralink. Actually, I know about Neuralink from very few days because of the very great Elon Musk, but the thing that they are working to cure the blindness from this world shocked my mind. A few days before I am shooting this video, I got the news that Neuralink has got the permission for the human trials, and one boy from the Arizona, USA has participated. He had the condition called quadriplegia, and in this condition he can't move his limbs, but when the Neuralink chip was implanted inside his mind, he was able to play a video games by mere only thinking. Hats off to Elon Musk for his vision for starting the company like Neuralink. So today in this video, I will not share with you the update related to the Neuralink's research, but I will share you some points about what is the brain computer interface, how the Neuralink chip is made and what are its constituents, and how the Neuralink can solve the problems like paralysis, mental disorders, and all other brain related issues. So sit tight people and don't worry. I will explain all the topics in the layman's term so that even a child can understand all the topics. So let me introduce you myself Mohan, and let's start with the video. So question number 1, what are the brain computer interface? To understand about the brain computer interface, we have to first look at the human physiology. So let's consider this is the Mohan's body and this is the Mohan's brain, and I want to ask you a question of what does the Mohan's brain is made up of. The Mohan's brain is made up of billions of neurons, and all these billions of neurons make the brain as the complete mass. As all of us know, how does small neurons communicate with each other? They communicate with each other by the synapse or neurotransmitters, and all these signals travels around the neuron by only the mere change in the ion gradient between the walls of the neuron. All of us also know how the current travels inside the metal. It travels inside the metal using the charge gradient or charge differences. So from these two scenarios, we can understand that in our brain also the signal travels in the form of small currents. And when this small action potential reaches to the target organ, that target organ reacts according to the message sent by the brain. Now let's get back to the brain computer interface. Brain computer interfaces are the devices which are used to detect the small neural signals or detect the small changes in the voltage so that the data collected by them can be sent to the external devices to operate them or for use of for the further research. Now let's move ahead to study the next question of how Neuralink is made and its constituents. Neuralink has also developed some brain computer interfaces which we can use to control the different type of devices by mere only thinking. Neuralink brain computer interface constitute of N1 implant, our robot, and Neuralink application from which the device can be controlled, and the N1 charger for the N1 implant charging. So the Neuralink brain computer interface is of invasive type. Before we get into Neuralink's brain computer interface constituent, let me explain the types of brain computer interface. There are three types of brain computer interface in particular. First is non-invasive type. This type of brain computer interface use non-surgical methods like electroencephalography or magnetoencephalography to capture the brain signals. this method is safest but comes with the drawbacks of lower accuracy and resolution. The second is semi-invasive type of brain-computer interface. In this method, electrodes are placed on the surface of the brain. This method offers balance between the resolution and safety, but still it needs the surgery to place the electrodes on the brain surface. The third is the invasive type. This method requires implantation of the electrode inside the brain tissue. This method has high accuracy and resolution, but it comes with the drawbacks of surgery-related complication and infection chances. Neuralink is working on the invasive type of brain-computer interface. As mentioned above, invasive type has two problems. One, risk of surgery-related complications. For that, Neuralink has developed a special robot called as R1 robot, which is used for doing this complicated surgery to avoid any errors and increase the level of precision. The implant, which is placed inside the brain using the R1 robot, has also very beautiful structure such that there is no chance of infection after the placement, as our brain is very delicate organ. And one implant includes top and bottom enclosure to make it seal tight. Inside this enclosure, it has the signal processing electronics, then the battery to power this device, a charging coil, and the Fahrenheit shield for wireless charging of the battery. Last and the most important component is threads, which are thinner than the human hair, and there are 1024 electrodes distributed across the 64 threads. These threads are thin and flexible to decrease the participant risk and increase the device utility. The R1 robot, designed to reliable and efficiently insert the threads into the cortex, so the electrodes can be placed near the neurons of the interest. To avoid infection, these threads are coated with the paralleling substrate. The data or signal captured by the Neuralink N1 implant is sent wirelessly to the Neuralink application, from which it is further translated to different target devices. Elon Musk in the Joe Rogan podcast stated that this Neuralink device can help human to become smarter and reduce the risk of AI takeover of their jobs. Now, in the last section of this video, let's talk about the third question: how Neuralink can solve the blindness, paralysis, and different mental disorders. So, let's start with the paralysis. Firstly, I want to let you know what is paralysis. It is the neuromotor disease in which certain part of our body loses its ability to move and feel the sensations. This is due to the muscle which contract and relax and cause the movement of the particular organ due to no signal received from the brain. Let us consider Mohan's hand got paralyzed, and it means that the muscle of the hand of the Mohan are not able to move and not receiving any signal from the boss brain. Now, all of us know that the signal from the brain to the muscle and the muscle to the brain are taken by the nervous system. What happens sometimes, due to some minor injury in these nerves, the nerves get damaged and the Mohan's hand gets paralyzed. In this situation, the boss who sends the signal is right, the worker who follows the order is also right, but due to some issues in the network on which they both are talking is down, the boss brain is shouting from here, "You have to move," but the muscle saying, "Sorry, I can't move, I'm not able to hear the signals." To solve this problem, Elon Musk comes with the solution of the Neuralink chip, which will act as a mic for the brain, and by the physical or wireless connection, it will place the imitator at the place of the movement or the muscle, which will imitate the brain signals which are captured by the Neuralink chip. And in this way, the person who had a paralysis can move his limbs because the signals are received by the muscles and the brain is able to give the signals using the Neuralink chip to the muscle. All of this is looking so simple, but here is the catch. Our brain is very complex organ. It needs a time to identify the regions which are responsible for the generation of the movement signals, and hopefully this study gets succeeded and we can cure the paralysis of the persons sooner than ever. Now let's see how we can cure the blindness. This issue is more complex to solve than the issue of paralysis because see, our visual system consists of eyes, optic nerve, and the visual cortex. When the light falls in our eyes, there are two types of photoreceptor cells in our retina, which are sensitive to two different parts of the light: rods, which are rod-like, which detect the light intensity, and the cones, which detect the light color. Then these thousands of the rods and cones give their signals to the optic nerve, which further takes that information to the visual cortex, where thousands of neurons process that information from which the image we see. If someone is blind, there could be issue due to which the person can't see. So if we put the Neuralink chip in the visual cortex of that person, and instead of taking the visual signals from the eyes, it should be taken from the camera placed in the glasses, and then converting that information into the neural signal and sending them to the visual cortex using the electrodes of the Neuralink chip placed in the visual cortex can help that person to see the world we see. But here is also a catch. As I said earlier, the vision we see are formed by the billions of neurons in the visual cortex, and the electrodes we can place now with the help of N1 chip are only 1024. Thus it's long way to go. Now I hope Neuralink succeeds and able to make the solution commercially viable. And lastly, if you're watching till the end, I have the question for you. If the Neuralink starts to offer this chip for increasing your productivity, make us beat the AI, could you get the surgery done, or you will wait for the version of a Neuralink which is non-invasive? Please let me know in the comment section. And if you like my narration, please like, share and subscribe.